US and Iranian forces fired shots in the Strait of Hormuz. This tiny waterway just sparked a major crisis. The Strait of Hormuz is critical for global oil shipments. It is only 33 kilometers wide at its narrowest point. 20% of the world's oil flows through here. Tensions have been high for months. A fragile ceasefire was in place after a January drone incident. But on Monday, May 7th, 2026, President Trump announced a new shipping plan. Iran called it a threat. They claimed US destroyers entered their waters. The US said international waters. Both sides fired warning shots. Oil prices jumped immediately. Shipping companies rerouted. Gas prices could rise by 15 cents a gallon. This affects every driver and business. The stakes are enormous. One mistake could lead to wider conflict. The world is watching. The US Navy has a permanent presence here. They call it Operation Sentinel. Iran has been building up its navy too. They have small, fast boats and missiles. On May 7th, 2026, the US Navy detected Iranian vessels near the strait. They issued warnings. Then they fired warning shots. Iran said they retaliated. They attacked US vessels east of the strait and south of Chabahar port. They claimed significant damage. The US denied that. They said only warning shots were fired. But the exchange happened. This is the first direct military clash between the two in years. The stakes are huge. If this escalates, oil could become scarce. Prices could double. That would hit every driver and business. But here's the thing. Why did Trump announce that plan? That's the real question. President Trump's plan to guide ships through the Strait of Hormuz was announced on Monday, May 7th, 2026. It was called something like the Hormuz Peace Endeavor. The idea was to protect shipping from Iranian attacks. But Iran saw it differently. They said it was a military operation in their waters. They said the US was trying to control the strait. This is not new. The US has been doing this for decades. But Trump's plan was different. It involved private companies guiding ships. Iran said that was a violation of international law. They said the strait belongs to them. The US says it's international waters. This dispute has been going on for years. But the recent clash was the first time shots were fired since the ceasefire. The ceasefire was set up after a previous clash in January. Back then, Iran shot down a US drone. The US planned a strike but called it off. Now, tensions are back. Oil markets reacted immediately. Brent crude jumped 5% in one day. That's $2.50 per barrel. That means gas prices could rise by 15 cents a gallon. Millions of drivers will feel it. But there's more. Gulf states are also involved. Saudi Arabia and the UAE are part of the US effort. They are worried about Iranian aggression. But on its own, this isn't enough to cause a full war. So what's really happening? But here's what no one's talking about. The real danger isn't the shots fired. It's the next move. Both sides are watching each other. A single mistake could start a war. And that mistake could come from a small boat. The Trump plan to guide ships through the strait was the trigger. But the deeper issue is control. Iran has long claimed the right to patrol the strait. They have bases on both sides. They say the US has no right to be there. The US says it's protecting freedom of navigation, but the real story is about oil. Iran wants to keep its oil flowing. They need money. The US wants to stop Iran from disrupting oil, but there's a third player, China. China buys most of Iran's oil. They are building a new port in Chabahar. That port is close to where the clash happened. China is trying to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. They want a land route through Pakistan, but that's not ready. So for now, China depends on the strait. If the strait closes, China's economy could crash. That's why China is staying quiet. They don't want to pick a side. But if tensions escalate, China might have to choose. That's the real risk. The US and Iran are posturing, but the world economy hangs in the balance. The shots fired were warning shots. The real warning is to the world. This could get much worse. So what happened? The Strait of Hormuz clash was triggered by Trump's new shipping plan. Iran saw it as an invasion. The US said it was necessary. Oil prices jumped. Shipping routes changed. But the bigger picture is about control. Who controls this vital waterway? The US, Iran, or China? The answer shapes global energy security. This isn't just a local fight. It's a global crisis waiting to happen. These videos drop daily. Subscribe if you haven't. What do you think? Should the US stay in the Strait of Hormuz, or should they leave it to regional powers? Let me know in the comments.